the glass doors of the premium airport lounge slide open quietly, and the first thing you notice is the calm. Soft lighting reflects off polished floors while distant conversations blend into a gentle background hum. Large panoramic windows reveal aircraft waiting outside under the warm glow of evening light, their wings catching the last gold tones of the setting sun. Inside, travelers move slowly, almost peacefully, as if time inside this lounge flows differently from the busy terminal beyond its walls. There is the faint aroma of fresh coffee and warm pastries drifting through the air, mixing with the quiet rhythm of rolling suitcases. This is the beginning of a journey that many travelers never fully experience. Because tonight isn't about rushing through crowded gates or squeezing into narrow seats at the back of the aircraft. Tonight is about comfort. The kind of comfort airlines quietly build into a class that sits somewhere between practicality and luxury. Airline Comfort Class. A space where thoughtful design replaces compromise, and long flights suddenly begin to feel shorter. Walking toward the private boarding gate, the atmosphere changes again. The boarding area is calm, with only a small group of passengers waiting. No loud announcements, no long lines stretching across the terminal. Just a quiet invitation to step into a completely different flying experience. When boarding begins, it feels effortless. A quick scan of the boarding pass, a welcoming smile from the gate agent, and within moments you're walking down the jet bridge toward the aircraft door. The soft hum of the airplane becomes louder with each step, like the distant sound of a city waking up. As you enter the cabin, the lighting immediately feels warmer than the terminal behind you. Instead of bright overhead glare, the cabin glows with soft ambient tones designed to help your body relax before the journey even begins. This is where the real difference starts to reveal itself. The seats are wider. Noticeably wider than what you'd find in economy. And as you settle into the seat for the first time, the cushioning feels deep and supportive rather than thin and rigid. There's space here. Not just space to sit, but space to breathe. Your knees don't brush the seat in front of you. Your shoulders aren't pressed against strangers. Instead, there's enough room to stretch your legs and settle comfortably into position. The armrest feels solid and wide, giving the seat a sense of structure that makes the entire space feel more stable. The headrest adjusts gently on both sides, creating a soft cradle that supports your neck during long flights. For travelers who have experienced cramped overnight journeys, this alone can change the entire flight. A flight attendant walks through the cabin with quiet professionalism, offering a welcome drink before departure. Water, juice, or perhaps a glass of chilled sparkling wine. Even small gestures like this help slow the pace of the journey. Looking around the cabin, you begin to notice how the design encourages relaxation. Lighting runs along the ceiling panels in smooth gradients, creating an atmosphere closer to a lounge than a transportation cabin. The windows feel larger because the seats are positioned to give every passenger a better view outside. And with fewer seats per row compared to economy, the cabin feels open instead of crowded. The tray table folds out smoothly, wide enough for a proper meal and stable enough to work on a laptop without constant wobbling. Hidden beneath the armrest are charging outlets and USB ports, making it easy to keep devices powered throughout the flight. The entertainment screen in front of you is larger than expected, with sharp resolution that makes movies feel more like a private theater than an airplane distraction. Noise-canceling headphones sit neatly beside the seat, ready to block out the distant hum of engines once the aircraft begins its journey. As boarding completes, the cabin settles into a quiet anticipation. Overhead bins close softly. Seatbelts click into place. Outside the window, the ground crew moves efficiently beneath the wings. The aircraft doors close gently, sealing the cabin into its calm, controlled environment. Then comes the pushback. The aircraft slowly rolls away from the gate, guided by the quiet choreography of airport operations. Inside Comfort Class, the movement feels smooth and controlled. The seat cushioning absorbs small vibrations from the taxiway, making the aircraft feel stable even as it moves across the airport's surface. Through the window, runway lights stretch out in long lines of white and amber. Moments later, the engines increase power. The sound deepens slightly, not overwhelming but strong enough to remind you of the immense machinery beneath the wings. Acceleration begins. The runway lights blur past faster and faster. And as the aircraft lifts into the night sky, your body gently presses back into the seat. This is where comfort class really begins to shine. Because instead of holding tension in your shoulders or legs, your body naturally relaxes into the shape of the seat. Within minutes of reaching cruising altitude, the cabin lighting softens even further. The glow above gradually shifts toward warmer tones designed to mimic evening light, helping passengers prepare for rest during long flights. A flight attendant appears quietly beside your seat to begin the first meal service. The tray table lowers with a solid, stable motion. Instead of cramped plastic trays, the meal arrives arranged with care. Warm dishes, fresh salads, soft bread, and carefully presented desserts. Drinks are poured into proper glassware rather than disposable cups. Even the smallest details contribute to the feeling that this journey is meant to be enjoyed rather than endured. During the long cruise portion of the flight, the cabin grows noticeably quieter. Many passengers recline their seats slightly, stretching their legs forward into the generous space ahead. Some watch movies on the large entertainment screens. Others simply gaze out the windows at the dark sky above the clouds. In economy class, long flights often become a battle against discomfort. Limited legroom, crowded seating, constant movement from nearby passengers. But here, comfort class changes the rhythm of travel entirely. You're not counting minutes. You're settling into hours of calm. When it's time to rest, the seat reclines smoothly into a deeper position. Not fully flat like business class, but far enough to create a comfortable sleeping angle. A soft pillow and thick blanket are provided, transforming the seat into something closer to a lounge chair than an airplane seat. The headrest wings fold inward slightly, preventing your head from tilting awkwardly while you sleep. And because the seat pitch is significantly larger than economy, stretching your legs becomes easy rather than impossible. Outside the windows, the world becomes quiet and distant. Cities pass far below as scattered clusters of light. Above, the sky stretches endlessly into darkness. Inside the cabin, the steady hum of the engines becomes almost hypnotic. The kind of background sound that makes sleep come naturally. Hours pass in surprising comfort. Occasionally a soft glow from the galley signals another service beginning. Warm drinks are offered. Light snacks appear for passengers who wake during the cruise. Throughout the night, the crew moves quietly through the aisle, careful not to disturb sleeping travelers. This attention to atmosphere is one of the hidden secrets of comfort class. It's not just about the seat. It's about the environment created around the passenger. The lighting, the service timing, the space between seats, the quieter cabin layout. Together, these elements turn a long flight into something far more manageable. As the flight continues across oceans and continents, fatigue never quite reaches the same level that economy travelers often experience. Instead of constant discomfort, there's a steady feeling of support and relaxation. Eventually, subtle lighting changes signal the approach of morning. Soft sunrise colors spread gently across the cabin's ceiling. The window shades begin to lift as passengers wake slowly from rest. Outside, the horizon glows with pale orange light above the clouds. Breakfast service begins with fresh fruit, warm pastries, and hot coffee. Passengers stretch comfortably in their seats, looking refreshed instead of exhausted. After hours in the air, the aircraft begins its gradual descent toward the destination. The engines reduce power slightly, and the aircraft glides smoothly through layers of cloud. City skylines slowly appear beneath the wings. Roads begin to fill with early morning traffic. And for passengers in comfort class, the difference becomes clear. Instead of stepping off the aircraft feeling stiff and drained, travelers often arrive feeling surprisingly relaxed. There's enough space to move, enough support to sleep, and enough thoughtful design to reduce the usual stress of long-distance travel. This is why many experienced travelers consider comfort class the hidden sweet spot of aviation. It offers much of the space and calm atmosphere people seek from premium cabins, but often at a far more reasonable upgrade price. Compared to economy, the difference in comfort is dramatic. More legroom, wider seats, better food, quieter surroundings. And compared to business class, it still delivers a refined experience without the extreme ticket cost. For long-haul flights across the United States, Europe, or Asia, that balance becomes incredibly valuable. You arrive rested enough to enjoy the destination rather than recover from the journey. For travelers who value comfort but also practical spending, this class offers one of the smartest upgrades in modern aviation. As the aircraft touches down smoothly on the runway, the journey begins to come to an end. Reverse thrust slows the aircraft as runway lights rush past the windows. Passengers gather their belongings while the cabin slowly wakes back into movement. But even now, the calm atmosphere remains. There's no frantic rush to stand immediately. Just a relaxed pace as the aircraft taxis toward the gate. Moments later, the seatbelt sign turns off, and the doors open to a new destination. Passengers step off the aircraft feeling surprisingly refreshed for a journey that may have crossed half the world. And that is the quiet power of Airline Comfort Class. It doesn't shout luxury the way first class does. But it transforms the experience of flying in subtle, thoughtful ways that frequent travelers quickly come to appreciate. For long flights, overnight journeys, and anyone who values space, comfort, and calm, this class often delivers the perfect balance. If you enjoyed stepping inside this luxury aviation experience, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into premium cabins, airline comfort, and the world of luxury air travel. Because the sky isn't just about getting somewhere. Sometimes, the journey itself is the best part.